Hello. We'll give it a few minutes just to have people trickle in. We'll wait for the number to slow down, but thank you so much for joining us. All right, looks like we can get started. Hello and welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Jasmine Williams, and I'm one of the Associate Directors for Global First Year Programs here at Northeastern. I primarily support the Global Scholar students while they're in London, so really excited to be working with you all over the next semester as you prepare for your transition. Today, we are going to be discussing the ETA, which is a new policy that the UK government has implemented. So that's why we are having this webinar. It is entirely new. It is the first time anybody is doing this like in the world. So we are really excited to be able to share this for you today. And we are encouraging all students to fill out this ETA ahead of time, just in case that while you're in London, you want to travel to a different country, you want to come home during that time, just to ensure that you have everything you need to have a safe, successful time when you're in London. So just a few housekeeping items. You will not have access to the chat, but if you have any questions, we do have a Q&A box. You can throw all of your questions in there. We will be answering some questions through there. If there are frequent questions that come up, we will take them live at the end. We will have some time for Q&A if there are any lingering questions, but we really hope that we are able to address all of them today. But I will hand it over to my colleagues from the London Visa team.
Thank you, Jasmine. So, hi, my name is Rita. I'm a senior visa compliance officer here at London. And this is my colleague Benjamin. He's also a visa compliance officer. And we're going to work with you to help your enrollment and your transition to London and help you with your visa applications if you need it or ETA applications. And hopefully everything will go smooth for you guys. So I'm just going to start by sharing my screen so you can see the presentation. So some of you may need to apply for a standard visitor visa, or we just refer to this as SVV, and some of you may need to apply for an ETA or electronic travel authorization, and some of you may not even need to apply for anything or do anything. This all depends on your nationality, where you're from, and when you're coming to London. So that's what we're going to cover today in this presentation and webinar. So here's a list. If you look on the left-hand side, there's a list that if this is your nationality listed in this bullet points here, you will have to apply for a standard visitor visa. So our global scholar students, anyone on this side, the left side, Armenia, Bolivia, Bangladesh, China, India, Indonesia, Lebanon, Myanmar, Russia, St. Martin, Turkey, or Uzbekistan national, then you will need to apply for a standard visitor visa before you can come to London for your Global Scholars Program. There is more nationalities. It's not just limited to this, but the only reason we've listed these nationals here is because we know our students are these nationals. So this will apply more directly to you. On the right-hand side, there's a list of nationals who need to apply for an ETA. So these students of these nationals don't need to apply for an SVV. You just need to apply for electronic travel authorization. And that would allow you to enter London, but it also depends on when you arrive to London, when you plan to travel. So you only need to apply for an ETA if you are one of these nationals on the right-hand side, and if you're arriving in the UK on or after the 8th of January. So if you come prior to the 8th of January, you don't need to apply for an ETA. You could just come as normal. But if you're going to enter the UK after or on the 8th, then you will need to apply for an ETA in advance. The application date to make an ETA is on the 27th of November. So you may not need to apply for an ETA or a SVV if you're a national of any of the following countries and arriving in the UK before 8th of January. So this is just reiterating again, if you're one of these nationals, you may not need to apply for ETA, but it depends on if you're coming to the UK on or after 8th of January. However, I just want to point out, if you're an Israeli national and you are arriving to the UK either on the 8th or after the 8th, you can only apply for an ETA if you have a full passport. And the same applies to Taiwan nationals. You can only apply for an ETA only if your passport has a personal ID number on your biodata page. But also, however, there are some caveats. For example, if you have a criminal record or you've been previously refused a UK visa or entering UK, then you cannot apply for an ETA and you will need to apply for a standard visitor visa. EU nationals, however, are not required to apply for a SVV or a ETA for the Global Scholars Programme. This is because ETA will only come into effect for EU nationals after the 2nd of April. So if you are an EU national, you do not need to do nothing just yet, only if you are traveling to the UK on or after the 2nd of April. So if you, for example, come to your Global Scholars Programme in January, you don't need to apply for nothing, it's fine. But then you decide, like in April, that you want to go home for the holidays, you would need to apply for the ETA to enter the UK at the end of your trip. So even though you didn't need it originally, you would need it for on your way back from your holiday, because it is now after the 2nd of April. But prior to that, you don't need to make an ETA applications. And the ETA applications will open for EU nationals from the 5th of March. So just a little thing of what you can and can't do when you're on an SVV or an ETA. So you can come to UK and study your Global Scholars Programme. You could do tourist activities outside of class time. So if you want to go sightseeing, you can do that. If you want to go to different towns, you could do that. You can go see your friends and families in the UK, all the touristy stuff, visiting stuff, that's all fine. But what you can't do is you can't stay in the UK for longer than 6 months. You cannot work, so that includes all sorts of work, whether it's paid, unpaid, voluntary, self-employed, like any sort of work at all is not allowed. You can't claim public funds, so that's benefits. And you can't live in the UK through frequent or successive visits. So that's, for example, you're getting a SVV, a visit visa, and you're coming and going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth from the UK on a visit visa. That's not allowed. And you also cannot marry or register a civil partnership or give notice of marriage or civil partnership whilst you're in the UK on a visit visa or ETA. So ETA, what you'll need to apply on the ETA, so you'll need to apply on the UK ETA app or online. This costs about £10 and it is really quick. It takes about 3 days. So it's not really expensive and it's really quick. It's really simple, like easy to apply for and get. You'll get an email confirmation if your application is approved and your ETA is electronically linked to your passport that you applied with. So you must use that same passport to travel to the UK, because that's what it's linked to. If I know some students, some nationals, some people have dual nationalities. So for example, if you're planning on traveling to the UK with your US passport, you must do your ETA application with your US passport details. But then you cannot travel with say for example, your EU passport. So you can find further information on this by logging on to the above website. ETA guide is available already for you. It's on your application status check account. So please read this before you make your application. ETA eligible nationalities leaving the UK during your Global Scholar studies on or after the 8th for a short trip outside the UK. So that's when I was saying, if you arrive in the UK before the 8th of January, yes, you won't need to apply for the ETA and that's fine. But after the 8th, if you decide you want to go back home or if you want to go somewhere in Europe or have a short trip or short holiday, and now you're coming back to UK, back to London, and it's now after the 8th of January, you need to apply for ETA in advance before you return back to the UK. A failure to apply for an ETA before returning to the UK could result in entry being refused, so you won't be allowed into the country. Additionally, students should carry all necessary documents to demonstrate their purpose of returning to the UK for the study. It's important to keep a copy of all your supporting documents and bring them with you during your travel. Please note this is only for ETA nationals and not applicable for students who hold a SVV national.
Hi. Hello, everyone. My name is Benjamin Omokwale. I'm a visa compliance officer here at NU London, and I'm going to talk you through the standard visitor visa application process, how to apply. For nationals, they need to apply for the SVV visa. You must apply for the standard visitors visa online via the official UK government website. A standard visitor visa costs about £115 for up to 6 months. The earliest you can apply for is 3 months before you travel to the UK. For example, if you plan to arrive in the UK on the 8th of January 2025, you can make your visa application from the 9th of October, meaning you can start applying from now. Just, just to avoid delay, because the visa processing time could take within any time from 3 to 4 weeks. And definitely the application might fall through to December, which obviously UKVI might be handling a lot of visa application. Just to avoid further delay, we'll encourage you guys to start application now if you can. You must prove that you have been accepted onto a program provided by an accredited institution in the UK. The program is no more than 6 months long. Proving your identity and providing your document as part of your online application, you need to book an appointment at the visa application center at that time for your appointment. You need to check you meet the eligibility requirement. You must have a valid passport to enter the UK. You must have a passport that is valid for at least no less than 6 months to cover the duration of your program. You must be able to show that you will leave the UK at the end of your visit. You or your parents are able to support yourself during your trip, meaning you have the necessary funds to cover your expenses and to support yourself. You or your parents are able to pay for your return onwards journey or have funding for someone else to pay for the journey. You will not live in the UK for extended periods through frequent or successive visits or make the UK your main home. Documents and information you need to apply. You must have a valid passport, just like I said previously, for the whole duration of your stay in the UK. There must be a blank page placed in your passport for the standard visitor visa vignette. It's like a sticker that's going to be placed on your passport that will contain the duration of your stay in the UK. You will need to provide the following information in your online application: the dates you're planning to travel to the UK, where you'll be staying during your visit, how much you think your trip will cost, your current home address and how long you've lived there, your parents' name, dates of birth, if known, how much you earn in a year, if you have an income, details of any criminal, civil, or immigration offense you might have committed, and of course your NU enrollment letter, NU confirmation of participation letter, which you can find on the application status check account. Documents and information you will need to apply. Depending on your circumstances, you might also need to provide details of your travel history for the past 10 years, your employee's address and telephone number, your partner's name, date of birth, and passport number, the name and address of anyone paying for your trip, the name, address, and passport number of any family members you have in the UK. Proving your identity and providing your documents. As part of the online application, you need to book an appointment at the visa application center, allow time to attend your appointments, as the visa application centers could be in another country. At your appointment, you will need to prove your identity with your passport or travel documents, have your fingerprints and photograph known as biometric information taken, provide the required documents that shows you are eligible for a standard visitor visa. The visa application center may keep your passport and document while processing your application. That's very important, please. Everyone should have that at the back of your minds. How long it takes to get a decision on the SVV visa. Once you've applied online, prove your identity and provide your documents, you usually get a decision on your visa within 3 weeks or longer, depending on the workload of the UK visa case workers. You can check to see if you can get your visa decision faster. This depends on what country you're in. You will get an email or letter containing the decision on your application. This will explain what next you need to do. Once you have received your visa, please upload a copy on your application status check account. Important timeline. 15 December 2024 is the deadline to upload your SVV, your standard visitor visa, meaning everyone should have applied for their standard visitor visa by the 15th of December 2024, or the ETA application status by the 15th of December 2024. 11th of November, which was 3 days ago, I assume everyone must have uploaded their passport on the application status check and flight details. Question. Yeah, so this is the point where if anyone has any question, feel free to throw it at us. We're here to answer as much questions as we can.
Awesome. Thank you both so much. We do have some questions in the Q&A box if you guys wouldn't mind taking those. But one question I think that we should address live just so it's clear. So if a student with a US passport were to want to just travel over the weekend, whether it be in Europe, inside of the UK, would they still need an ETA to return it?
Yes, they'll need an ETA. So the ETA application is valid for 2 years. So as long as they've made the application, it's valid for 2 years, so they can leave and enter the UK. But they just can't live in the UK, so just make UK their main home, but they can leave for the duration of their study, they can leave the UK and come back as they please, as long as they've got the ETA.
Beautiful, thank you. And for students who might have dual citizenship or hold more than one passport, can you speak a little bit about would they need to apply for an ETA?
It depends on Rita, if you want to go, but it depends on what dual citizenship they've got. If they've got an EU citizenship, they might not need to apply for the ETA just immediately because the new ETA process policy comes in for the for EU citizens in April next year. So if they've got an EU passport, I think they're fine. But
Yeah, it depends on what passport they use to travel to London in the UK in the first place, because we base it off the nationality on the passport that they use for travel. So if, let's, for example, someone's American citizen, and they're going to join us, they're starting the program that arrive into London on the 8th of January, then yes, they need to apply for an ETA because USA is ETA eligible national starting from obviously January. But if they also have a EU passport, like a French, Spanish, something EU passport, and they use that to travel and start the program in January, then no, they don't need to apply for an ETA because EU nationals aren't required to apply for ETA until 2nd of April or after. So it's completely up to the student what passport they want to use if they have more than one national.
Awesome, thank you. And I'll use this as a time to also plug your email that you and your team are able to work with students with various citizenships and have worked with students in our program who have various citizenships. So if there are specific questions regarding this and your student's unique situation, we always recommend that you email them as well, or the student emails them, just so that this can be discussed, and we'll put the email in the chat. Thank you, Lori. Can you talk about what documents a US student should carry if they plan to travel outside of the UK?
Yeah, so every student, regardless of your nationality, definitely carry a passport and keep your letter of participation of confirmation letter with you. You should all have that already by now. It's on your portal. So keep that with you just in case somebody in the UK borders at the airport, someone stops you and questions you for your trip, you could show them this letter and say, hey, look, I'm a student here. I'm studying at this university from this date to this date, or something, just to support your claim, I guess. So keep that with you. And if you are a visa national, then you have to definitely, I mean, everybody has to keep their passports on them regardless. If you're a visa national, in your passport, you would have the actual visit visa sticker inside your passport. So they're just gonna check that. And on that sticker, it will give you the duration of the dates that you're allowed to come into the UK. So make sure you don't lose that page in your passport.
Thank you. And if you guys have the answer to this, do you know what other European countries would require them to travel into for the UK? Or should they work with that country?
No, I'm not sure, to be honest, because their government requirements are different to ours.
So if a student does want to travel outside of the UK to a different European country, this is one of
They
those
would,
ones we really encourage them to do their research and be able to have all the stuff. But I think it really does go back to ensuring that they have that COP letter and their passport should anything ever happen.
yeah. And then it may be depending on that country's rules, whether or not the student, depending on their nationality, need to even apply for a visa to enter that country. But that's not something that we advise on or that we know of.
Awesome. Thank you. I don't see any more questions coming in. We will take these last ones that are in the Q&A box. Well, we will stick around for a few more minutes. Otherwise, thank you so much for coming. This video will be recorded and will be sent to all students and parents who are listed in the student's application.
Mhm.
Oh, we did get one more.
Can I just, sorry, very quickly, just reiterate and remind everybody that please can everyone upload their passports onto the portal, as well as flight details, like whether or not you've applied for your ETA or SVV yet or not. But if anyone hasn't uploaded their passports, please can you upload that onto your portal for us to have a look at, because sometimes we just need to make sure that your passport's actually, everything's okay with it, there's no concerns, it's valid for your duration of your program. Just to make sure that if there is something, we could, deal with that now, in order to avoid further delays and, it becoming too late. So please can everybody put your passports and your flight details for now on the portal. And then if you already have an SVV, like if you've already applied for it and you've received your visa, please upload a copy of that onto the portal as well. And when you do apply for your ETA, obviously ETA applications don't open until the 27th of November, but when you do apply for that, which I assume most of you would need to apply for it if you're all traveling and arriving to London by the 8th, if you're an ETA national, then please can you upload that onto your portal as well, just so that we know we've got everything we need in advance before you start your program, before you travel here, and just to avoid any problems or any other further delays.
Thank you. Thank you for that note. And if there are any issues uploading your passport or your ETA to your application status check, you can email us. We prefer PDF, but you can email us a photo of it to globalscholars@northeastern.edu. Lori, if we could put that one in the chat too, but we can upload it for you. And this also goes for if you have an updated passport or just more information you would like to share.
Mhm.
Taking this last question in the Q&A box, is there a limited amount of times where a student can travel in and out of the UK with the ETA? So
No, not really. I mean, an ETA in general has a 2-year validity anyways. But during your time here on the Global Scholars Program, ETA or SVV, like whichever you have, you can obviously travel. You can go abroad. You could go on holidays, go back home, visit your family, provided it's obviously not during class time. And during your program, there isn't a limit, like you can only go once or you can only go twice. You can go as frequently as you like. If you want to go every weekend, visit, go home, come back, you can do. It's just you can't, let's say a visit visa is valid for 6 months, and you can't keep applying for a visit visa every 6 months just to come to the UK. Like that was what was meant by successive visits to the UK. But like you've got your one SVV, it gives you a 6 months duration. You can, in that 6 month, come and go as many times as you want, as long as obviously provided you're not missing class.
Yeah. And now we do have a few questions about when students should fill out the ETA. So they will be arriving in London. They need to be in London by the 8th. Some of them will be arriving before January 8th. You can say from the program, we do recommend that students fill this out now, just in case, as the applications are opening, and it does last for 2 years. And this is the time to be prepared to avoid any issues with it when they want to travel. So we recommend doing it ahead of time. But Peter or Benjamin, do you have any insight there?
So I could see a question that says, we're planning to travel to London on the 1st of January. So far, no ETA is required because you're arriving before the 8th. However, my daughter plans to travel outside of the UK during semester. So even though she enters the country before the 8th, could she apply for an ETA anyway before traveling to London? So when you apply for your ETA, there's a question that says, what's your arrival date in the UK? In this situation, if you apply for the ETA in advance, like before like for when you arrive on the 1st of Jan, your ETA actually will be refused because you don't need an ETA before the 8th of January. So after the 8th of January, you can apply for the ETA. Only then when you return back to London after you travel is after the 8th of Jan.
Yeah. So students who are on the group flight, you don't need to upload your flight information because it will be sent to you from us, assuming this is outside of visa questions and ETA questions. It will be sent to you from us, but we do recommend that you carry your flight information with you and have it accessible just in case anything should happen when they land in London. If I am misinterpreting that question, please let me know. But assuming we don't mean with the application, they don't need to upload it. We will send you your group flight information.
As long as we get the group flight information from you guys, that's fine. It's just the people that are independent flyers, we would need a confirmation or like flight details. So that could be the booking confirmation. Yeah, most likely that's what you'd have in advance before your travel.
All right, questions are slowing down again. Well, we will stay for about 1 more minute, see if anything comes up. But again, thank you so much for joining us today, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.